God, it's horrendous. What am I doing? How you doing, everybody? I don't want to put that big bleeding light on. And yes, I am wearing these pajamas again. Can you see me all right, or do I need to put big light on? Hiya, Jules. Do I need to put big light on? I'm trying to... Hang on. All messages. Okay, I think. I'm going to assume that you can see me, even though I'm a funny colour. So, sorry, I'm a bit not with it today. I don't know what's going on with me, everybody. I've had one of them weeks. So I'm on, let me put that, you can see me, right? I'm on red wine, but not alcoholic. It is alcohol free from Marks and Spencer's. It's only £4 a bottle. It's cheap and it's all right, you know. I mean, you can tell it's not wine, but it's all right. Anyway, I don't know how long the live's going to be tonight because I sort of wanted to come on. Hide all chat messages. Don't want to do that. Some messages such as potential spam. No. Live chat. All messages are visible. Let's try that one. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on and let you know that I've made a couple of decisions about... I've got some exciting ideas that I want to do for the channel this year. And I've been a bit like... What's the word? I know that my videos haven't been as... on point as they probably are. And what I mean, I'm not suggesting that they're on point and they're great, because they're not. But like, I usually do like, you know, subjects and stuff, and I've not been doing so much of that. But to be fair, last year I spent most of it. Should I put that big light on? I'll have to. Hang on. Oh, hang on, let me turn this heating off because it's boiling. It's made absolutely no difference. In fact, it's worse. Hang on, let me try the other one. That's better. So yeah, I spent last year doing a load of work in the house, and I've actually done a video. I've done a video of a house tour before and afterwards. It's not going to be for everybody, I realise that, but for people who are interested, I'm probably going to upload that tomorrow or the day after. I also cooked. I don't know if you've seen the Grindthought one, but I said I was going to do... oh, I've got swelling under my hair. I said I was going to do some cooking, and I did some cooking yesterday, first time in a long time. So I've done that. But basically, I'm just wondering why I can't see any messages. Top chat. Oh, I don't friggin' know. Don't matter. I'm not staying on long anyway, everyone. Basically, what we're doing on the channel now, this year I've decided I want to go and stay in a few haunted houses, haunted hotels, haunted locations. Now, to be fair, last year it was all about, like, you know, doing the house, spending money on that, you know, just stuff. And like weekends I were busy like decorating and stuff like that, but that's done now. So the house, I'm happy with it. It's cozy, I love it. And you'll see in that video how cozy it is now. You've seen it in these lives, but I mean, it's nothing. You'll see, like, you know, what I've done with bathroom over and above what you've already seen. Anyway, I've got something in my gob. Don't know what that were. I think it was a no. Anyway, point is, I want to go to, there's a couple of things I want to do. There's a few haunted locations that we're going to go and stay in. When I get back from Egypt, because I'm going to Egypt on the 12th of Feb, and I'm going to be staying for 9 days, 9 nights, I think it is. Sarah, you coming? Well, it's funny because I want to spend some. You used to live in Wales, didn't you? There's a couple of places in Wales that I want to go to, and actually, I want to go to North Wales because I want to find the grave of Josiah Radcliffe, because he's buried down there. So yeah, you can come with me, definitely. No, I know you won't come to Egypt. Well, you would actually, but not this time. So yeah, I also, very soon after I get back, I'm going to be going to Scotland. I'm going to be doing Edinburgh and Glasgow. So we're going to be doing the cemeteries up there. I think the cemetery in Edinburgh is called Greyfriars. And what's that one in Bleeding Glasgow called? I can never remember the name of it. No point me trying. I can't remember the name of it. It was a fancy one. In Glasgow, where all like the big wigs are buried. We're going to go there. Do you know what's going on with my eyes? I look like I've got. Don't my eye look funny? Must be this light. Must be Botox has gone funny. It's possible, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Lucy went where? Greyfriars. Oh, I nearly had the name of the bleeding graveyard then. What's it called? Acropolis. Acropolix. Oh, Edinburgh. I'll tell you what's in Edinburgh, everybody. Did you know that underneath Edinburgh there's a street? So like years ago, they used to have a problem with overpopulation. So they decided what they were going to do for the lower classes. They were going to build these subterranean streets, and people live down there. It's supposed to be haunted. Edinburgh Vaults. That's it. Yeah, the Edinburgh Vaults. Is that what those streets are called? Edinburgh's full of ghosts, isn't it? So this is what I'm thinking, right? I'll do some research. So if you want to come with me, you can come with me, no problem. But if not, I'll just go on my own because I'm not bothered. I'm going to find a haunted hotel in Edinburgh, and we're going to go and stay there. I'm only staying overnight, but then while we're there, we'll go and do Greyfriars and whatever else. Good evening, Gail. We'll do Greyfriars and whatever else we can find. There'll be a few graves. The graves up in Scotland are amazing, by the way. Edinburgh Vaults were discovered by a bloke who knocked a wall down in his flat. No way. Never. What happened? He knocked it down and there was a staircase there. He knocked a wall down in his flat. You'll have to elaborate, Andrew. Definitely. I'm just going to pour some of this non-alcoholic wine. So, hang on a minute, I can't do that because I have a big stomach that will go on show. So that's going to be Edinburgh. Glasgow, I might even do it. You know, it makes sense to do Edinburgh and Glasgow at the same weekend, like, you know, like a long weekend, like a Friday off or a Monday off. Maybe I can do it when there's like a bank holiday Monday. That would be a good idea. Right, I'm going to let's see what Andrew's saying. Yeah, he knocked through and saw an underground street. No way. That is amazing. That is amazing. And it says, Greyfriars Bobby is a lovely story. Weren't that a cat or something? Or was it an animal of some description in that Greyfriars? So it makes sense, wouldn't it? Drive up early doors on a Saturday if it has to be Saturday, or even, actually no, drive up Friday night, finish work, jump in car, because I live in Barnsley, so it's not that far. A dog. Oh yeah, it was a dog, yeah. And didn't he stay by the grave of his owner or something until I ate? What's going on with my eye? I don't know what the hell's going on there. A dog who sat his master's grave for years. Oh. He must have been able. He must have He must have got his scent from there. That's all I can assume, because they're dingy dogs, aren't they? And then he knew, obviously not forever, but then he would have known. Oh. No, thinking about my Bobby yesterday, because the woman who used to look after him when I went away, she texted me and she went, "Oh, not heard from you, Sarah, for a bit." Like when I used to go away, she used to look after Bobby. And for those of you watching who don't know, I had a beautiful cat called Bobby. I had him years. Sarah liked him. She used to call him Bobby Shafto. But yeah, so he died last March. I had to have him put to sleep because his heart were going and stuff, and it wouldn't have been fair to him. Anyway, point is, I started thinking about it. She sent me this message, and I said, "Oh no, he passed away last year." And she went, "Oh, he was such a sweetie. It's such a shame and stuff." And it got me thinking. I thought, do I get another cat or do I get another dog? I actually want, and for those of you who remember when I had Teddy last year, I do want Teddy, but Sarah won't let me have Teddy. So I can't have Teddy. So I want something like Teddy, a dog like Teddy, that breed, because I think, and I don't think he molts, does he, Sarah, Teddy? Let's have a look at these messages. Andrew, you'll love Edinburgh. It's a fantastic place. You know what? I've driven through Edinburgh. I've never stopped. I have a friend who I'm not speaking to at the moment, actually. But he's from Edinburgh. A cousin lives up in Glasgow. Spent a lot of time in Glasgow. Glasgow's fantastic. Edinburgh's just going to be one above that, innit? Let's have a look at these messages. Gail, Bobby was a Scottish Terrier, sat at the master's grave until his own death. Oh, poor little bleeder. Bobby was a cutie. You got to get another Sarah. I know, I did try and get one, didn't I? Not long after Bobby died. It was the wrong decision anyway. I would have kept the cat, but it was a nutter, and it hid underneath me. I think I've got Botox drop. I think that's what I'm dealing with here. Don't look right, my eye. But yeah, Bobby. Oh no, I got this cat, and it were a nutter, and it were when I were doing bathroom, and it went underneath the floorboards, and I couldn't get it out for ages. It was really bad. And then it had to go back, so I said I can't have that. It was trying to sling itself out a window. Window was shut. And it weren't that I didn't want to put the time into it. Let me just clarify. It didn't want to be here. It really, really didn't want to be here. I don't know if it was my voice, what I looked like, but it was frightened to death of me. It was really, really weird. Jules, Sarah, I'm listening, just trying to fix my printer. Oh no. I've got a printer upstairs I bought from charity, and I've just left it in cupboard. I looked at it, tried to do something, and then I thought, oh, I've got to read the instructions. I'm not doing it, and just put it in cupboard. Sarah said about, no, he doesn't, and only barks. And only barks when I'm cooking. That's because he wants food. Little get. He's like a cat. He is. He is like a cat. You know what? I think I'm having brain fog because I can't actually. Oh yeah, Teddy, that's it. I couldn't remember his name for a minute then. I swear to God, I couldn't remember his name. I'm getting brain fog still. W. Andrew, when you come into Holmfirth again, Sarah, I enjoyed the last one with Lou. You know what? I go through Holmfirth all the time because, now I live in Barnes, and when I go to Oldham, that's usually the way that I go through Holmfirth and then up, on the Moors Road. Probably in the summer. I think summer would be good. Do a walk. I wouldn't mind doing, further up the top. In fact, I'll tell you what I wouldn't mind doing. I wouldn't mind doing that church and actually going in. That would be good. And the graveyard across the road. You know that park? There's like a graveyard there, isn't there? There's things I wouldn't mind going and having a look at those gravestones and seeing what they're all about. But I'll have to see if Lou wants to come up. That was when we had those oysters, weren't it? Lou nearly throwing up. But I know it would give me that gift, actually. She was all right. That Teddy is a cutie. Oh, you know what? I was talking to our server to the night, and I said she's going away like for a couple of nights, and I said, "Oh, I'll look after Teddy." And she's like, "Right, yeah, you can look after him and stuff." Because I said, they're going not too far from where I live, so I thought, well, she could drop him off or whatever, or I'll probably go and pick him up because I can keep him longer. But anyway, then I realised I couldn't because I'm actually getting on a plane the day that they're going. But I do, Sarah, I do want to have Teddy in the summer if I can. Take him off your hands for a week. Can have a break, and I'll take him out. I'll take him running and stuff. Not running, but I won't be running. I'll take him for walks. I know you do, but are you Frosty Ice? You've not missed anything, love. So right, Edinburgh's definitely one of them. Glasgow, the Acropolis, can't say it, in Glasgow. We'll definitely be doing that. They're going to be amazing, them. So what I'm thinking then, drive up on a Friday night, stay 2 nights in haunted hotels. So I'm thinking Friday night, stay in Glasgow, because that's the closest, I think. So stay in Glasgow at Haunted Hotel. The next day, go to the graveyard, do that. Then drive up to Edinburgh, book into another haunted hotel or inn. I want an inn. I don't want I want a proper old inn. Then do Greyfriars. If I get time, do the streets underneath. I think that'll be really good. And then what else? I can see messages coming through, so I'm going to read them in a second. And then that's it. Probably have like a long weekend. Probably cost me a bleeding fortune, but we'll do it. Thank God, Frosty. So, of course you can. Your neighbours can see him. Yeah, they like him, don't they? They like Teddy. But you know what he does? When he stayed, he used to go outside for a pee. And I'd let him out without lead, after a while. And then what he'd do, if Michael and Adrian were at door having a fag, it just go in house and just go and stir out the windows and stuff. Little get. Matthew Pitt, I'm going to Australia in 4 weeks, 1st of March from Manchester. 2 weeks there. Excited but nervous. Why are you nervous? Is it just the travel, or you don't know what to expect, or are you going on your own? Don't worry about any of that. You'll have an absolutely fantastic time. The only thing that makes me think about that, Matthew, is in it 24 hours in plane. But 2 weeks is long enough anyway, isn't it? If it's a day there and a day back, I suppose that's not bad. Frosty Ice stayed there once. Where? What have I said? Australia or Edinburgh? Gail of Fraggle, re Holmfirth, do you mean Upper Thong churchyard where Compo and Clegg are buried? I've done that video. So I got corrected actually. Sometimes people are so, to be fair, I don't get people who are funny on channel. I've had the occasional funny get. In fact, I think this person got the treatment. I'm not sure. I don't think I did actually. I don't know, but basically I don't usually get people being funny on channel, and if I do, I don't engage at all. Don't respond. I just delete. Don't block them. I just delete the comment. And the reason why that doesn't mean I've deleted your comment if it's not a show. If you're not being funny, I won't delete it. It might just be in like held or something. I very rarely go in there to release them, and I should do more often. But yeah, you come on this fella. And I said, oh, I'm in this church in Holmfirth. And he corrected me, went Upper Thong, actually. That's how it was written, the message. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, just let it go. Freaking Holmfirth, Stout Road there. But some people, Frosty Ice says there's a shadow in his room. There, or her room, or his room, or their room. Whereabouts is it? So Ratkin, oh, it's a long flight. It is. I don't think I'd fancy it, to be honest. I don't. You know what? Australia isn't one of those places that I've ever wanted to go. But for that reason, I imagine if I went, it would be absolutely superb. I'd love it. What is wrong? Can you see that with my eye, everyone? It looks massive. Oh, Frosty Eye said it's just a spider. It's just a spider. Sarah, are you coming out on Saturday? Yes, I am. My mum's coming as well, says. She told me today. Lucy texted me till the night and said, "Oh, is your mum coming, Sarah? I've not seen Auntie Susan for ages." I said, "I don't think she's coming, Lucy. Oh, I'm not too sure. Anyway, she told me yesterday she's coming, so if she's in chat, she might pipe up. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just gonna wear. Like, I've got like this trouser suit thing that I was just gonna put on with a pair of mules because it's afternoon in it, or I might wear jeans and a jacket. Yeah, I haven't decided. W. Andrew 1, yeah, Upper Thung Churchyard. There's another graveyard across the road, but it's private now. But the guy who owns it might let you in. He won't, because I've asked him. So what happened were, the day that I went to do the church in Upper Thung, me and Lou were walking back down, and I said, "Oh, there's another graveyard here," and it says Humphreys Graveyard on the outside, doesn't it? And I said, "Oh, let's go in here." I said, "I'll get, see what I can film and stuff, because it looks like some really exciting stuff in there." Anyhow, next news, I couldn't get in the gate. Gate were locked. And then this big, massive Great Dane ran over. And then this fella, he looked quite fancy, quite posh. And he come over and I said, I can't get in the gate. He went, "It's private land." And I went, "What?" He went, "It's private land." I went, "What do you mean it's private land? It's a graveyard." He went, "I know, but I bought it." I said, "What have you bought it for?" And he went, "Well, my dog." This is what he said. He said, "My dog needed somewhere he needed a garden, so I bought it so he'd have somewhere to run. But you've got to remember, this is a Great Dane." And I says, "Well, what if, like, I had family in here and I wanted to, like, come and see him?" And he went, "Oh, then you could come in. But you'd have to make an appointment." I think he said appointment. I don't know if he were right nice bloke, by the way. He weren't being funny or anything. He were a proper nice bloke. And yeah, he said he just bought it so his dog had somewhere to run. He must have been loaded. But I thought, how the frig do you buy a graveyard? Because that in itself is weird, because the graves, the plots are owned by the family. So unless there's something in the law that says after so much time's passed, the authorities get it. I don't know. So no, I can't get in. Won't let me in. And I did say, "Can I film it from a YouTube?" And he wouldn't let me do it. He weren't horrible about it. Right, okay, so let's have a look. I'll have a look. Gail says, "I'll have a look back for that video. Don't remember seeing that, but then again, I suffer brain fog." Me too. You know what you need to do, Gail, when you go on my channel? If you go onto the channel itself, click on the icon. You'll know how to do it, but I'm just saying if you don't, because I don't know. But if you click on the icon and go to the channel itself, there's a search bar within. If you just put Unfeth, it'll come up there. There was a couple of videos I did for Unfeth, I think. Oh, God, I bet them. Right, let's have a look. Sarah, I haven't got a clue what to wear. Friggin' sick, lol. Well, I were having a look through, like, most of my stuff. It's just all summer dresses and stuff, so they've been packed for the travel. But yeah, this trouser suit's nice. It's from Whistles. So I might wear that. I mean, I wanted to wear it with a gold shoe, but I thought, Sarah, it's Lee's. It's Lee's on a Saturday afternoon. Oh, and a fur coat I were going to put on. I'd look alright one, wouldn't I? And I might do it yet. You know what I'm like? I thought, what kind of people go, "The frig does she think she is?" Does she not realise she's in arse end of Oldham? Oh, God. Anyway, Frosty Ice, guess what my post-traumatic word is in the middle of school? It's because my closest... Oh. Matthew Pitt, after 100 years, you have no rights over a grave. Is that right? So that grave in Cheriton Cemetery then, that's owned to... No, that can't be right. Is that right? I bet if no one can prove that they own it, like if they're not put, because they were putting people in. Like in the Platt's grave, they were putting folk in there up until the Second World War. So I would imagine after that, after no one's gone in for 100 years, but they won't get rid of Platt's grave anyway. But that's disgusting anyway. I don't agree with that, me. You buy a grave, you buy a grave. When I go in my grave, and I do want a grave, I don't want to be cremated. In fact, I don't want to die actually, but obviously I'm going to do one day, and I want a grave. I do not want to be cremated. And I always said, my house, if I could, I'd leave it in my will. I need to write one first, but I'd leave it in my will that my house gets sold, and then the proceeds put me a tomb on top. I want a big, massive tombstone like they used to have years ago, but I don't think you're allowed them anymore. Unless you're in a Catholic graveyard, and then I think they do. Not sure, but I'm not Catholic. Anyway, Anthony Hume, are you going away again? Yes, I am. I'm going to Egypt for 9 days. And then when I get back, I've not got any holidays booked, but what I am going to do is I'm going to start. So that's what we're saying before, everybody. Every weekend, I'm going to try and make the most of it and go away. So when I started the channel, I was going to change the name of the channel. And in fact, I'd like you to tell me in the messages whether you think this is a good idea or not. The other day, I was considering changing the channel to just a Sarah's Graveyard, because the UK bit, I put the UK bit in because I thought, well, I'll go all around the UK and I'll do graveyards. And that was the original intention. The only reason why I focused so much around Oldham was because everyone was on lockdown, you know, and you could go out and anyway, I went out anyway, to be honest with you. But, you know, I weren't gallivanting with people. I did stay on my own, but, you know, I might have 2 or 3 hours in the frigging graveyard. You know, I was on my own. Anyway, point is, it's supposed to be Sarah's UK Graveyard, but then I'm thinking I should just change it to Sarah's Graveyard. Let me know in the comments if you think I should just keep it or change it. Matthew Pitt, there's a Tesco in Manchester. Oh, I need to tell you something in a minute. There's a Tesco in Manchester somewhere where it was built over a proper old graveyard. You can prove you are a relative of the person and extend it longer. Most people don't know. You have to. Yeah, true. It's like the people, that's me. I'm not trumping, by the way. I don't know if you heard that. My foot's rubbing against the seat and making a funny noise. It's like St. Peter's in Oldham. That was all pulled up, and then they built what Spindles is there now. I've got a video that I'm doing around Oldham though. Sarah, you know Oxford House where Joanne used to live? I've got footage of it in all its glory, and like all around there and stuff. So I'm going to be doing a before and after around that, but I've also got other places in Oldham, really old, that we're going to go and do a before and after on. So that's going to be coming soon. Just reminded me when I saw the Tesco bit, because I've got footage of St. Peter's Precinct. You can't see a massive amount of it, but you know it's St. Peter's, and you can see Tesco in corner. That's what reminded me. Let's see what this is. So Ratkin, Lucy showed me a boob tube in River Island. Was nice, but thought no way. What for you? I'm not saying that like you can't wear it, but I mean you've got a big massive whacking bust. You know what I mean? In fact, a bust, Lou, our Sarah's bust, I would say is nearly as big as yours, if not the same bleeding size. I'm all right, Lou. How are you? I bet it'd look nice though, Sarah. What we got here? Keep it. Oh, keep UK Graveyard, right? I will. Anyway, so The other thing, so when I got to North Wales, you know that glass, you know what it tastes of? When I had that sup then, like, it's non-alcoholic wine, this for anyone just joining. I've not started drinking again. It is 0 alcohol free. I do not drink. I'll never drink again. I'll tell you that now. I will never, ever, ever. Alcohol, that is. I'll never drink again. Got no desire to whatsoever. Here we go. Lose life. Jesus. Jesus. What? Glad you're all right. Glad you're all right. Oh, good. Here too. Matthew Pitt. I want to be buried. Also, once you're cremated, most of the time you're forgotten. You are forgotten. You are forgotten. Especially if it doesn't go into a graveyard. No stones. Sometimes the cremation. At least when buried, you get a stone. Lose Life says, Sir Atkin, we have got some boobs between us. You know what? This is what I don't get, right? Because me and our Sarah are very, very, very similar in a lot of ways, right? I mean, we used to wear the same clothes, same coat, same shoes, do the same things, join it at the hip, basically. But she's got a massive, massive, massive bust. I have to keep Sarah Atkin talking about mine and Lou's boobs. Right, stop saying boobs in the chat. I have just the bazookas. I have to keep frigging pressing show. What was I saying? Anyway, let's drop the bazooka chat. So, Wales. Somewhere in North Wales, and I'm not too sure where it is yet. I'm going to have to do some research, but I will find it. There is a graveyard or a cemetery that has the remains of Josiah Radcliffe. So for those of you watching, sorry, what you're saying? Why are you saying why to? Why what? Yeah, so Josiah Radcliffe. So for those of you watching that aren't familiar with Older Mystery, you probably will be if you watch my channel because I'm constantly going on about it. But Josiah Radcliffe was the man who, if you're familiar with Alexandra Park in Oldham, he paid for the fountain, which is still there now. He opened Alexandra Park. He was the mayor of Oldham at the time, and was he the mayor of Oldham at the time? Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was. And he opened the park, and he was also the man who shot James Platt by accident on a shooting trip up Dovestones. That's somewhere else we need to go. We need to go and find the memorial stone for James Platt where he was shot. And I need to do their house video again. I did it a while ago, but I did it on my iPad. It was before the channel got properly going, and I think that would be a really good one to do. So in the summertime, we'll definitely do that. But I do want to go to Wales, and I want to find this grave. There was a lot of people and a lot, from Oldham, like the Platts, they bought houses out in Wales back in the day, and Josiah went and lived out there. And interestingly enough, when he died, he must have wanted to be buried in Wales, because when he died, they didn't bring his body back to Oldham. And you might be thinking, big deal, but the fact is, in my experience from all the research I've done and all the graves that I've visited, and people who have left Oldham, maybe had second homes. Eli Lees, he had a second home in London, which is where he died. He got brought back to Oldham to be buried. His wife died in that house. She was brought back to Oldham to be buried. Because, Sarah, every time you type the bleeding word, it does this thing. So it says message held for review. So I have to keep clicking on it. Because it don't like the word. I might even get demonetized. Well, I'm not monetized on this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But now I'm trying to show it. Oh, another moderator. Anyhow, so yeah, that's what I want to do, everybody. Oh, let me bring you up to date with my HRT. So I've been on these patches now for This is my 4th patch that I'm on. Oh, hang on. Gail said, don't necessarily get headstones with burial, sadly. I've got lots of relatives with no headstones. It's hard work trying to locate the grave. You know, no, you don't. Sorry, I was just rereading your messages then. No, there's a lot. I mean, people were skint, weren't they? It's like in Grinnickers in Oldham, my great-granddad, my granddad, my mum's dad's father and mother, they're buried in Grinnickers. Their son's buried there. Is Sheila buried in there, Sarah? Or was she cremated? Annie was cremated, weren't she? But I know that Harold's in there. And there's some, I don't know if who else is in there. But yeah, they haven't got a gravestone. You know, you can see the outline because people have been and marked it out. But you don't really know, I don't think. You know, unless you put the gravestone in when it's all thing. You don't know if it could be a different way, I don't know. But it is hard, and I've gone looking for many a grave and there's been no stone there, you know. And I think it's really sad. And just getting back to that comment before about cremations, I don't like the idea of cremation anyway. And I'll tell you why I don't like the idea of cremation. Because even though, like, you're dead, right? You know, there's no coming back from it. But you're still here. Do you know what I mean? You're still here. And that appeals to me. I don't want to be dust. I don't want to be burned. Sorry, you're listening, because if I go before you, you have to make sure that they don't burn me, because I'll come back and on every single one of you. I don't want to be burned. But then, you know, I know some people who absolutely hate the thought of being buried. Yeah, I don't know. How do we get onto this bloody subject anyway? I don't like talking about death, even though that's all I do on the channel, really. I don't, you know, when it relates to myself, I'm not interested. But there you go. Anyway, let's move on. Let's have a look at these comments. Lose life. I don't know, Sarah. YouTube probably thinks it's a naughty word. Yes, they do. Lose life. Got a family plot with Greystone on my dad's side at Hollingwood. Got a huge family plot over there in Ireland. I've saw that, Lou. It's wonderful, that plot. Jules, still trying to fix it. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Okay, Sarah's going to make sure of it. Thanks, Sus. Lose life. I've told Chris if he cremates me, I will haunt him. Ha ha. We said same. You know what we should do? We should just have a communal grave, shouldn't we? Should all go in there. Whoever wants to go in should go in. Matthew Pitt, I've got a great grandparent buried in Weast, Salford, unfortunately in a common grave with 7 others. Real sad, really. No stone and could be anywhere in there. Yeah, there's a lot of paupers. Was it a pauper's grave? There's loads of them, isn't there? If you go into, you know, I've been to graveyards all over, but I always revert back to like Oldham graveyards because that's, you know, I suppose my hometown, isn't it? But in Grinnickers, when you walk in through thing, and you go down, and then you looked at right where Bernard Cribbins' mum and dad are buried. They're buried over there, and that's in the pauper section. I thought Bernard might have been brought back to Oldham, you know, and buried, but no, I think they buried him down in London. I did that video. If you want to watch it, it's on the channel. Lose life. I want somewhere loved ones can visit me with headstone. Now, nothing funny about that, Lou. You don't have to say it loud. That's what you want. You want a headstone. You know, there's a man who what's his name? And I'm not saying this to be funny. For some reason, his name, I know his name, I know it off by heart, but I've got a bit of brain fog at the moment. I'll tell you about my HRT in a minute for those of you that are interested, but if you are interested. I nearly had his bleeding name then, but there's a fella and he wrote a load of books in Oldham and they were all about pubs, and these books are fantastic. I've used material out of them, you know, for things that I've found. If I found there's been an old pub somewhere, I've looked in there, and you know, 9 times out of 10 he's recorded and he'll tell you who the old landlords were. you know, what it was originally called, what it was originally used as. I mean, these books are absolutely amazing. And one day I just thought to myself, where is he? Is he still alive or whatever? And I Googled it. No, what I did is I went on the register, on the cemetery register, and I put his name in, and it came up, and he was burnt, he was cremated. And I thought, you know, you're right that when them people have gone, I mean, sometimes they'll get a plaque, but you know, like if you go around the cemeteries now and you look at all these old graves, you can't forget these people, can you? Because the graves are there. It tells you all about them, and well, it tells you most, and then obviously I'll research them. But you know, maybe I need to do that. Actually, that would be a good video, wouldn't it? To do the Garden of Remembrance, because I never do the Gardens of Remembrance, do I? Maybe next time I do Grinnikers, I'll do the Garden of Remembrance there. I don't even think Cheddarton's got one. Don't think I've seen one in Cheddarton. Might be wrong. Or is it? Yeah, no, I don't think there is one in Cheddarton. Or if there is, put me straight. Grinnikers has definitely got one. I'll definitely do a Garden of Remembrance. Matthew Pitt, after about 25 years in the ground, there's nothing left of you except a few bones if you're lucky. After 25, you're not even any bones. Of course you are, though. How do people find skeletons in Flower years ago? If you can't be bones, how did they find Richard III? He were a pile of bones, he were a skeleton. No, you definitely, unless they put a bag of lime on you and then you're out, then you would dissolve. So Atkin, that's where my dad's baby brother, who died early infant, is buried. There's no marker or anything. Ah, loose phone's playing up. It's a shame, isn't it? I was in that Grimethorpe. I mentioned it on the video. Don't know if any of you have seen it, but when I was in Grimethorpe, I can't believe the amount of people, young people, you know, like I was looking at the graves, and actually come to think about it now, this was the dates on the graves were like 21, 22, i.e. 2021, 2022. Maybe it was something to do with COVID, I don't know. But well, that would be plausible, I suppose, young people going. But I don't know. It was surprising, and I won't go into it anyway, but because some of it was really bad. I don't like to do newish graves. And it's not that I don't think these people need remembering. You know, there's some beautiful stones out there, and some, you know, some lovely stories that you can tell about people. Oh, I've got an idea for something that I want to do as well. I'll tell you what it is. But yeah, there's some lovely stories that you can tell about people. But I don't like doing the new graves because I wouldn't want for someone to see me featuring me occasionally, and I mean very rarely will I put one on. But like when I say a grave, then it might be something from the 90s. You know, I won't necessarily put anything on that's recent in the last 20 years or 30 years because I just think it's out of order. There's been one occasion where I did feature one that was the bare knuckle boxer in Sheffield, and I featured his grave because it's so. You've ever seen that video? It's on the channel, and he was a bare knuckle boxer. I don't know what he died of. I can't remember now. I would have said it in the video, but I can't remember now. It was a heart attack. He was only young. But the reason why I featured his grave is because people travel from far and wide to see it. It's a big, massive. I mean, they say you can't have big monuments in cemeteries anymore. You can, because he's got one, and it's a big marble. It cost him 100 grand for this, probably more. I think it might be more. Can't remember. But this grave, it's got a jukebox. It's got cameras all over it. The family obviously had to camera it up because you get people going, wouldn't you, and doing all sorts. But there's a jukebox there, and when the family come, I didn't touch it because I didn't think it was right to touch it. But when the family come, they'll put a CD on and they'll play music. It's amazing. It was bare knuckle boxer. What's it said here? Oh, here we go. Lose Life, my phone's playing up right with, yeah. I watched that when they found Richard III in the car park. It was brilliant. You know what was brilliant about that? That Philippa who located him, she just knew that it was there. And the other weird thing about it, above it, because it was a marked car park, it had Arthur would have been reserved, but they said it was for Richard. There's loads of stuff, weren't there? Oh shit, my phone's coming out the holder. Just hang on, everyone. There we go. That's better. Right, okay, let's have a look. Sarah said, buried with about 7 other people. What the baby was? Family or just random people? I didn't know about that, Sarah. I think I'd heard something. Was this before your dad were born? Gail the Fraggle. Talking at Greenacre Cemetery, do you know why the houses nearby have ladies' faces above the front door? No, I don't. And if you can tell me. I've can't think of any plausible reason other than it was the architect's fancy that they wanted to do it. But there's like a lady's head, there's a Turk's head, isn't there? One of them's like a Turkish fella, or an Arab or something like that. They're all different. I think one a king as well. There'll be a reason for it. There'll be a reason. I think they might have been shops. Now we'll come to think about it. Maybe they were shops, because if you think about it, and maybe like each thing represented something, because you know those on Henshaw Street in Oldham, where the Pound Bakery is and Greggs and stuff. Above there, they've got all baker, fishmonger, butcher, cobbler, joiner, all of that. Lose Life. I want people dancing with my coffin, like that YouTube vid that went viral. If them black guys dancing with the coffin. Yeah, I saw that. They do that in some cultures, though. What they also do as well in some cultures is they don't bury the body. They'll keep the body like in the house for like 2 or 3 years. They'll wash it. They'll put food out for it. They'll speak to it. All sorts. It's amazing. Louise Gilder, hiya Sarah, you behaving yourself? Yes. Yeah, I am. I'm a bit giddy tonight, though. I don't know why. Let me tell you about this HRT situation. Well, there's not really much to tell. I've been on HRT patches now. I'm due to change this again. That'll be my 5th patch. That's 2.5 weeks, because you have 2 patches a week. And I'm due to change it again on tomorrow night, because it's halfway through week. So what I decided to do were Tuesday night, Saturday mornings, which is straight half. It's still early days. I felt and feel a lot better. I'm sleeping really, really, really well. I'm a bit nervous about starting the progesterone. So if you've still got a womb and you're on HRT, you get it in 2 forms. You get the estrogen, which is that's the hormone that you get all your symptoms, with. Makes you lose your hair and all that when you've not got it, and all of that, your bones, your heart. But you can't have estrogen without progesterone, because estrogen makes the lining of your womb thicken, and progesterone, that makes it go thin. So if you don't take the progesterone and you just have the estrogen, potentially it can go really thick, and then you can end up with a nasty disease that begins with C. So you've got to have one or the other. So the point is, I've got to have progesterone now, and I've got to start it on the 1st of the month, because my doctor said it's always better if you do it like 2 weeks, the 1st of the month, and then when you stop, and then you start again on the next month, 1st week too, and all that. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But I've read about it and I've heard a few things, and I'm nervous about that a little bit because apparently you have to have them at night anyway because they can make you really tired. And I thought I don't want to be lethargic when I wake up in the morning, but it's one of those, and I'm sure I'll get used to it after a few days. I'll move on now anyway. But yeah, it's going well, and supposed to help you with your weight as well. Not that I haven't took anything to lose weight other than just diet. But it's supposed to help you with your weight and weight control. Although some women can put weight on with it, apparently 1 in 10. So, don't know. And what else? Oh yeah, it's supposed to be good for your skin as well. Because I told my fellow who does my Botox, and he went, "Oh, it's good for your skin." That I was like, "Oh right." I'm not taking it for that, but you know, if that's another thing, then great. Anyway, Lose Life. Oh, that grave of the boxer who were travellers. That grave is probably the best I've seen. Yeah, it's fantastic in it. I can't remember his name. But he was notorious, wasn't he? Because he was such a well-known fighter and what have you. Sarah Atkin, no random. Yeah, a year before my dad. Oh my God, I never knew that, Sarah. Lose Life, just want a big party me when I'm buried. What? She's still on it. Lou, which cemetery do you want to be buried in? I'll make sure it happens. If I'm still here. I want Chadderton Cemetery, by the way. That's what I want. And if for whatever reason, I'll leave this for record. If for whatever reason my wishes are not carried out and I end up going up in a puff of smoke, eventually in a few hundred years or whatever, I want Oldham to recognise the efforts that I've put in to film these bleeding streets. Well, not these, but and maybe they'll put a statue up for me in cemetery. What do you reckon? Be nice, wouldn't it? With a camera or something and a bobby cat at the side of me, something like that. Lose Life, you sound a lot better, more bubblier. I think it's doing you really good. Yeah, you said that, didn't you? You said I sound better. I don't. Yeah, I'm not as peed off. Like I couldn't watch. Some words that people would say would really irritate me. The way that someone would say something would irritate me. The way that if ever we're listening to a radio, I'll be like, oh God, turn it off. And just all of it, like we're becoming very intolerant to people. And that's not me. I am a little bit that way still. Obviously, you're not just going to change, you're not just going to go back overnight. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the comments then. Yeah, I do feel a lot better. I feel better as well that I finished this house. Obviously, I've got the holiday to look forward to. My job's going really well. I'm enjoying my that's what I want. I'm not changing my job, but this year I want to train up to be something. I'm just going to read these messages and I'm going to tell you what it is. When I tell you what it is, you won't be surprised that I've decided to get a qualification or at least be trained up in this type of role. It's actually on point what we've just been talking about. Leah Cool edits and videos says hi love. Taib Hussein, Taib, hi, how are you? Not seen you for ages. Well, not seen your texts for ages. I hope you're well. And Lose Life, just googled it. He was called Big Willie Collins. Yeah, Big Willie. He was big as well. They called him the King. They did, and I think that is on the grave. Actually, does it say how he passed, Lou? Taib's all good. Oh, that's good to hear, Taib. Whereabouts are you, Taib? Are you from Oldham? But you live elsewhere now, or are you? I can't remember what you said, or if I've ever asked you. Anyway, everyone, let me tell you, I'm 85% sure I'm going to do this. Oh, you live in Middlesex, right? I didn't know if you were from Oldham. or up this way, you know, Yorkshire. So everyone, I'm gonna train to be a celebrant, a funeral celebrant. I'm just gonna read Lou's message while you think about that for a minute. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I will make sure you get your wishes if I'm still alive. I'm the same. Don't want to be cremated. Not sure what cemetery I would want though. So, a celebrant, for those of you who might not know, I didn't know it was called this. I thought it was just someone who delivered funerals, but basically that's it. So, you know, when you go to like a crematorium and you go to a funeral and there's someone who goes up on podium and talk about that person, what they did in life, how many children they had, you know, tell the story about them. I'm going to go and do it. And it's not that I want to change my job. I love my job. I've got no intention of leaving my job. But I really fancy doing that. And, you know, maybe I can do it weekends. Do you get funerals on Saturday? Or maybe I can, you know, work something out. I don't know. I just fancy doing it. I want to do it. I've got Lou's plot saved at Arkwright Street. Hey, that Arkwright Street, you know, used to be houses. It was a residential area until they levelled it all. Obviously they've levelled it, but then they turned it into like industrial. Lou's life, you've got this, Sarah. Defo go for it. Get the qualification. Always good to expand yourself. Yeah, I fancy doing it. I think it'd be quite interesting, and you know, I like talking about Chris, I will haunt you. I fancy it. I fancy doing it. So I'm going to look into it. There's so he had a vault made. Jesus. Sorry, I was just thinking about what goes on around Arkwright Street. It's not the greatest of areas in Oldham, that, and I'm not just talking about the industrial bit either. I'm talking about the nighttime activities. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, so to round everything up, because what time is it now? I need to go for a bath now. I want to go and lay in bath for a bit. I have my routine every night. But essentially, what's going on? Oh, hang on. Read my story above that, Sarah. I can't see anything, Louise. Read my story above that. Can't see anything. Taib, what do you call... Oh, here he goes. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. You and your frigging jokes. Louise Gilder, so he had a vault made. What's that? Lou's life. What's that, Sarah? I must have missed something here, everybody, because I can't see any other comments from Louise, and I feel bad now, like I should have spotted it, but I'm just scrolling back down now, trying to find it, Louise. I can't see anything. Can you not see it further up? No? Tell me which comment it's above or below. Sarah, do you have Instagram? May I add you if you don't mind? No, I don't mind. I very rarely go on though. I don't even think I've got it on my phone as an app, but if you're going to add me, I will definitely go on. I'll download. Oh, I'm looking for my phone and I'm talking to the bleeding thing. It's just Sarah's UK Graveyard. Or Sarah Jones. I don't know if I'm on as me or as UK Graveyard, but my name's Sarah Jones. But it might be Sarah's UK Graveyard. It might be both. After Taib and you lose message. Let's just have a look. Can't see it. I'm really sorry, Louise. I can't see it. There's nothing there that I can see that's honest. Put it back in the chat. Put it back in. If you don't mind, copy it and paste it. I'm not going for a couple of minutes yet. So I'm going to top my wine up. So anyway, just to round up the live, everybody, we're going to be doing some trips out. Definitely going to be staying at some haunted locations, 100%. Our Sarah might be with me on some of them. I don't even know if she's still watching, but we'll definitely go to some. And what I can do, you see, if we're staying at these haunted houses or haunted inns, we'll do some filming, like, you know, middle at night. I'll get a ghost cam. I'll set that up, you know, so it can record while I'm asleep. I'll get one of them, you know, them. In fact, I've got one in the kitchen. Just set it up to Wi-Fi and then it just records. So I'll get that going. And we'll see what we can do and then travel about. I mean, to be fair, oh no, I'm not staying in my bleeding car. I was just thinking then I could even just kip in car. I'm not doing that. Probably end up getting attacked on road or something. No, we'll stay in hotels or old inns, or we'll stay in some dodgy places. Some bed and breakfasts and all that. I think it'll be really cool. So get Egypt out the way first. So actually, let's rewind. Next Saturday. Right, hang on. Let's just read Louise. Louise, seen a story of a family after a man's money. I think he was a rag and bone man. Was a long time ago. Was he in, whereabouts was this, Louise? In Oldham? Sir Atkin, nowhere, I'm staying in car, lady. We'll stay in hotel. We'll take Ruby as well, Sarah. She's reposted it, Lou, above, I think. I think you've seen it. It was then put in front of a judge. Bloody hell. Never. Never. Tell you what, he must have made some bleeding money then, Louise. They say that there's money, muck. What was it? What's that line? Where there's muck, there's brass. Tayyip. Oh, Tayyip's doing that. Do you believe in ghosts, Tayyip? I think you do. Louise Gilder, the family got nothing because the judge unordered the money be spent on a vault. Or he ordered the money be spent on a vault. Right, I need to know where this is, Louise. Can you tell me whereabouts it is? And I'll look into that. Might do a vid on it if I can find out where it is. That's amazing. Tayyip, yeah, of course I do. How can I not when I've been spooked so many times? Oh, bleeding hell. Oh, it's in Ireland. Ireland have got some great graves, you know. What's that channel called? There's Serenity Sue. She does a really good she does some really good videos. But her husband, oh, what's he called? Oh God, why can't I remember his name? It's me thing again. What's it called? Grave Visitations. Brilliant channel. You need to have a look at that, everyone, honestly. Grave Visitations and Serenity Sue. Really, really good. They do some, I mean, they go to graves, right, where, and I would film I would film this, but I don't see it over here. But they've got like vaults that they can look in, and there's, I mean, they see the most amazing coffins, and they do occasionally see bones and skulls and stuff like that. But for me, the fascinating thing for me is the coffins. I love coffins, like old coffins. I like to look at them. I like to go in the crypt in Oldham Church for that specific reason. Because do you know, in the crypt in Oldham Church, and it's on my channel, you can go and have a look. If you look at the Oldham Church video, Thomas Barker, who was Thomas Henshaw, who built Blue Coat School, his business partner, Thomas Barker, incidentally, Barker Street was named after him. He is buried in, you know what that is? That's my Botox, that. It's gone funny. Look, my eyebrows going up like that. Or is it just because I've plucked that one off at the end? No, it's because I plucked that off. Anyway, Thomas Barker He was a hatter, as was his partner. And when he died, they put him in the crypt in Oldham Church. And when you do the tour, you can go into the crypt and you go into one of the side rooms. Most of the side rooms, you can't see the coffins inside, and nobody's got the key. The keys were held by the families who have long died, perished, gone dusted. So the coffins that are behind the big metal doors in the crypt, you'll never see them ever unless they decide to break into them. And why would they do that? But Barker's is open, and when you go in, you look on top of coffin. It's on the video, and it says Thomas Barker, and he's got a plaque upstairs in the church as well. But yeah, it's fabulous, fabulous. I love it. Lou's life, Louise Gilder. That sounds interesting. What's he called and where is he buried? That's where I found it. Grave V. Louise Gilder. Taib. Oh, Taib. I got blocked from an American channel. She goes out. I'm in the middle of the night looking out in the middle of the night looking for Ghost. I didn't even say anything bad and I got blocked. Well, what did you say to her? Might because she's American, you know, like if what you were saying were funny, like, and then they can be a bit, they don't have the same sense of humour, do they? Maybe that's what it were. Lou's life, that would be a good watch, you and Sarah Atkin. Lou, I don't know if you got onto this, but Andrew was, I don't know if he's still watching, but Andrew mentioned earlier on he wants you and I to go back to on Firth and do another video. That would be a good. Jules, yes, GV is great, Sarah. GV. What's GV? Oh, have I missed something? Louise Gilder only just come across the channel, and yes, seeing the bones. There is an old bottle with a stopper in that must have been buried with the deceased. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, I was going to mention this in my next cemeteries video, but I was thinking, oh, in fact, I've got something fantastic to tell. Oh, no, I have to wait for my video. No, I have to wait for the video that I'm going to make. I'm going to make another video. I'm doing another video on St. Peter's in Oldham. I did one about the bodies that they removed. I'm going to be doing another video, in-depth video on St. Peter's, and I'm going to be telling you about some of the people that were buried there, because I've got the grave records, and I'm going to be doing, you know, linking them up with where they lived and all of that. I can't show you the grave because they've got rid of the grave, but I can show you other things. And I've got a fantastic story to tell you. It was Alianne who sent me the information. She got it from a group that she were following on Facebook, and people were talking about St. Peter's there. Oh, you want to hear some of the stories? Some of these I've told you that have been told to me, but there's also some new stuff that's absolutely fantastic. I can't wait. But just getting back to what they bury the dead with, I will say this because I've already said this on my channel. When they pulled the graves up at St. Peter's in Oldham, which is where Spindle Shopping Centre is now, used to be a churchyard and a graveyard, the bodies were buried with, you know, the jewellery, the around the pubs in Oldham at that time in the late 60s, there was jewellery being sold in the pubs. Now, this jewellery apparently came from the bodies, and it was the fellas that were working on the graves that were selling it. That is the rumour. I don't know if it was true, but I will tell you this. Rumour has it my grandma had some jewellery. I don't know if she got hold of it, but she did used to go out in Oldham. I don't know. But I will say this as well, upstairs, and it's a very delicate, tiny little ring. My grandma gave it me years ago. Or did my mum give it me? My grandma gave it to her. I'm not sure my grandma gave it to me. Anyway, I've still got it. It's a beautiful gold ring, and it looks very old. And I always think, has that come off? You know, I'm probably looking into it a bit too much. You know what I'm like? I'm a bit woo-woo, but yeah, there's all sorts. The other thing is as well, I'm not going to say which grave it is, but I got told in Chadderton Cemetery, I do know which grave it is that come with the story, but I'm not telling you which grave it is. I don't think it'd be one that you know anyway. But there's a grave in Chadderton Cemetery. There's loads of big graves, but this is it's a big grave. And within it, apparently in the 40s, they had reason to open it to put someone else in. Was it the 40s or the 50s? Might be the 30s. Around about that time, anyway. Early 1900s, they opened it. And apparently while they were down there was a woman who was in a coffin, and they opened it. And when they opened the coffin, it was a lead coffin. And when they opened it, the woman inside was beautiful. She was young, well, 30s, whatever, young. She was absolutely beautiful, and she was dressed in like all this 1930s regalia or something. In fact, sorry, I've got the story completely wrong. This was in the 80s when they opened it. They had reason to go in. And apparently these guys opened this coffin, and this woman's lay there in like this 1930s with the fox stole, and that's how it was described to me. And apparently they took her jewellery. That was the rumour, that they took the woman's jewellery. I don't know if it's true. It was a story that was told to me in a pub many, many years ago. In fact, I'll tell you which pub it was. It was the Setton Cemetery on Orange Road, and this fella told me. And he said, well, exactly that. And I asked him how he knew, and he just said, I know. So I don't know. People tell stories, don't they? But there's loads of stuff like that. Right, let's just have a look here. Louise Gilder only just coming. Oh, we know that. I said eat. I said eat her. Eat her. Jules KK5. I have given up with the printer. Just haven't done with it, Jules. You'd been better off going using a printing service, wouldn't you, with all that messing you've just done? Please hit the like button, everybody. You know that like button? You know what? I never, ever see any reports of likes. I know that you can find them, but I don't know what difference it makes to my channel, if any. I don't know if people like it or they dislike it. I know there's a way of finding out, but I can't bloody well find it. I suppose what difference does it make, really? But please, no, I do like it when people like it, because it helps, I suppose, but I don't know. My channel's so bloody small. Anyway. Tayyib, what you like? Lol, Louise. Great visitations, yes. Lou's life, you look great, so the eyebrows are lovely. Oh, I don't know, Lou. Something wrong with my face. I'm up for own fifth. Right, we'll definitely do it, Lou, but we'll have to go and eat. Should we do round 2 of the oysters? Should we go? Tayyib, Brady Street Cemetery in Whitechapel is probably the only one no one can visit for some reason. Why not? Brady Street Cemetery in Whitechapel. I'm going to have a look at that now. Jim Ferret, we had an idea for your channel a while back, like interviews with the public, like a kind of people's history. That's an excellent idea. I was going to, years ago, my auntie used to work in old folks home. In fact, our Sarah used to work in an old folks home in Oldham. And I always wanted to go in and speak to the elderly in there, because there were some very old people. There was an old woman in there with the same name as me as well, I believe. Years ago. Jim Ferry, like how you mentioned then that someone told you that story in a pub, you could do something similar to that. Yeah, if you could find an interesting character. I'll tell you, was one person I'm sorry that I didn't get to do that with, and I actually thought at the time, if I can get him to one side and speak to him and film him, it would have been fabulous. And that was our Sarah's daughter, Lucy. Her fiance's granddad was called Cyril, and he was old. Went to his funeral, me and Sarah. Was it last year, Sarah, Cyril's funeral? It were, weren't it? He's buried in Grenicas, but he was 90 odd, and I'm sure he could have, and he had all his marbles. He knew exactly what were going on. Last time I saw him alive, we was in Lucy's garden. It was summer, and he used to like me, Cyril, anyway. And I don't know, we were having a barbecue or something, and he'd finished food. I went, "Do you want me to go and get you some chips, Cyril?" He went, "Go on then, love." He were right nice. Just a stupid memory, but he were a right nice bloke, and you know, he would have been fabulous to quiz. Stories he could tell you, honestly, they must be fabulous. But you know what, Jim? That's a really, really, really good idea. And it says here there's a lot of people around who know a lot about local history, but they don't have a platform to speak about it unless it's documented. That knowledge could get lost. Actually, you know what? There's a man that sent me a message. It must have been about a year ago now. He emailed me at Sarah's UK Graveyard. I'll go back because he lives in Oldham and he's 90 odd, and he said he watches the channel. And I'm sure he said he'd like to have a chat with me about some stuff. Or was it he wanted to come out Graveyard with me? Doesn't really matter, does it? He could do. I'll look into it. Oh, yes, like people's homes. Exactly. So I reckon, yes, Cyril, a lovely man. He was a postman. Was he, sir? I didn't know he was a postman, Cyril. So how old was he? Was he 94, 90? Was he 94, 95, something like that? He knew exactly what, you know, there was absolutely no, you know, no grey areas with Cyril. He knew exactly what were going on. But I think he lived a long time without his wife, which was a bit sad, you know. But there you go. Anyway, everyone, I think I'm going to call it quits at that because I've been on for an hour and 17 minutes, and yeah, I'm going to go and get myself a nice bath and just start winding down for the night. So I'll say good night, and no, 90s, yeah, in his 90s. I'm not sure exactly what. Lose life. The older generation know a lot of interesting things that would be a good idea. Meet up with some elderly folk and see what history and stories they have. You know what? Just before I finish, I will say this. Can solve that problem dead easy. Bingo. That's a good one. Bingo. Yeah, you get your pensioners there and your elderly there. Oldham cafes. You know them cafes inside market in there for brews. Yeah, there'll be a few. We'll have to make. I'll have to make some inquiries and see where I can go and take it from there. But anyway, I'm going to go, everybody. I need a bath. I thank you for coming along for a chat. And yeah, this weekend there will be a video of some description. I don't know exactly what yet. I've got the food and I've got the house tour one coming out probably tomorrow or the day after, so you can see a before and after of the house. Bobby's in that video as well, in the old footage. And then weekend on Saturday, I'm going to Lucy's 30th birthday party with our Sarah, so I'll definitely do some filming from Oldham. We'll film from inside the bar and stuff. I might even do a live from there yet. It all depends. And that's it. And then the following weekend, on the Sunday, I'm getting dropped off at my auntie's, and then I'm going to Egypt on the Monday. And then God knows what will happen over there. So we'll just have to wait and see. Right, good night, everybody. Thank you for your messages. We do need bingo, Lou. And I'll see you all soon.